Hey guys, Dustin Wynn.
Hey, this is Scott Snyder.
This is Paul Dini.
And you're listening to Bat Force Radio.
And you're listening to Bat Force Radio.
You're listening to Bat Force Radio.
This is Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman, and you're listening to Bat Force Radio, so stay tuned.
Welcome back to Bat Force Radio. We're doing an afternoon recording this week because time zones and someone that I have wanted to have on the show for a long time now. So back in June of 2021, a comic series titled The Nice House on the Lake, which would go on to win multiple Eisner Awards, introduced us to a being named Walter and allowed us to look on as Walter gathered his carefully selected group of his closest friends at the titular house, where he shielded them from the end of the world, which seemed to destroy everything and everyone outside of that protected property. By the end of the 12th and final issue, and after learning some of who or what Walter was and how those revelations would impact his friends and their relationships as they were essentially held captive in that prison of safety, we were left with maybe more questions than answers as the final page read, "End of Cycle 1. Beginning in July the 24th of this year, we will see what the second cycle may reveal as James Tynion, Alvaro Martinez, and Jordie Bellaire invite us to the Nice House by the Sea, a new location, a new group, and a new mystery. And joining us to talk about creating this world, the Eisner-winning co-creator of The Nice Houses on the Lake and by the Sea, Alvaro Martinez. Thank you, Alvaro.
Hey, how are you doing, Robin? Thanks for having me
man.
on your podcast. I'm honored to be here.
Oh man, honor is mine. I appreciate you taking the time to do this. I know I bothered you about it back during Nice House, and I figured with the next house coming now, that it was a good time to try to bother you again.
You didn't bother me at all. It's just
I haven't
the right
to
time
bother yet.
So I guess this is the right time to do this podcast. So here we are.
Yeah, you're probably in the middle of a bit of a media storm as we get ready. We're coming up to the FOC. The FOC date is this Monday, so July 1st. So we're recording this on Thursday. Hopefully you're hearing this by the weekend, and get to your comic shop by Monday, and make sure that you let them know that you're going to want a copy of this. That's the final day that they can place their final orders to make sure that they get enough copies for customers.
Yeah, that is correct. I've been banging the drum on Twitter and Instagram for a while now, for a few days now, like uploading some snippets of the first issue and concept art, and sharing other creators' opinions, and being a little bit too much probably for my followers, as I am sharing too many things these days. But I mean,
no, we're all excited. Well,
so this is the time,
and that's why people like us, why readers like us follow creators like yourselves, because we want to see the things that you have coming. So I don't think anyone's tired of you banging that drum. They expect it at this point. So before we go too far into the new Nice House, I want to go a little bit into your origin story. So what was the thing that compelled you, drew you to, whether it was just art in general or specifically comics? I know you went to school for art, got into advertising after that, but what was the thing that drew you to being an artist in general?
Honestly, I was so young that I can't remember it. It's just as long as I can remember, I've always wanted to be an artist. It's like when I was growing up, I have like 4 older brothers and sisters, so most of them read comics and many comics, I would say. So I was surrounded by comics when I was growing up, and also my dad and my mom, they encouraged me to read, and so I grew up in a house where where many comics could be found. So as long as I can remember, I was reading comics and surrounded by them. And as soon as someone handed me a pencil, I was drawing. I guess it's the same thing that happens to all of us. We all draw when we are kids, but most of the people quit at a certain age, but I didn't. And as soon as someone told me that there was like a job, an actual job that was drawing comics, it's been okay. I'll be a I will be drawing comics when I grow up. When I grew up, so that was the plan from the very beginning, and I haven't moved an inch since then. I think I don't have a plan B. So lucky for me, I managed to become an artist. So.
Yeah, and from what I was aware of prior to this, I know you did advertising before getting into comics. Was
right.
that something that you thought, okay, well, I'll do this until I can get my way into comics, or would you have been okay if you just stuck with the advertising?
Yeah, kind of. I moved to Madrid. I'm from the north of Spain. And I moved to Madrid like in 20 years ago, something like that. And I was just trying to find a way to get a job. It's like I did all kind of jobs back in the day, and found myself with an opportunity to work in a small advertising company. So that's where I started. I wanted to be an artist, but it was not easy. It is not easy nowadays. Back in the day, it was also difficult. So I started there. At first, they didn't even pay me. I did it for free. I don't recommend that to anyone. I mean, you should get paid for your work. But back in the day, I mean, I'm not. I'm ashamed a little bit of that, but anyway, that was my first job. So they must have think that I couldn't manage it, so they offered me more jobs, and I became a storyboard, kind of a storyboard artist for advertising. I did concept art as well for them, and eventually I started working in films, because most of the people that I work with in advertising, they also work in movies as well. So they knew me and they knew my work. So I started receiving calls from the movie industry. So in the end, I ended up working with Juan Antonio Bayona, which is probably you are familiar with him. Is the director of the Impossible, and then Jurassic World. Is I don't know if he's the first or the second one. One of those Jurassic World movies. You know him?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, once you started naming the work.
Yeah, sure. So I ended up working on the storyboard for the Impossible, and I was starting to make a career in movies. But that was around the time that I got my first gig at the Valiant Comics. So I had to decide. So when I got my first Marvel job, I also got a call from Bayona, from this director, offering me to work in Penny Dreadful TV show. You know that show?
Yeah, absolutely.
He was working on that show, and he offered me to work as a storyboard artist in the show, but I had to move to Ireland. So in one hand, I had Marvel Comics, in the other hand was Bayona. I mean, Marvel won, so comics won.
Yeah, well, if that was the final goal, that's a great choice to be presented with. keep
Yeah,
doing
sure,
either
sure.
working on great movies like that with a great creator, or move over to comics. You had two
Not
great
bad,
options in front of you.
huh? Yeah. It was hard to choose, but in the end, I knew where my heart was. I mean, comics is above everything for me.
Yeah, we like to hear that. It's good to hear that as fans that you're in it because you want to be. Now, with that background, like, so you've created so many iconic visuals, not only in Nice House, but perhaps most notably in Nice House. Do you think your background in advertising lended to your particular visual flavor when it comes to creating visuals like that that can sell readers on a series with just a single image? Like, I know for Nice House on the Lake, what became the cover for the last issue, you said was that was based on the first image that you drew, sort of as concept for the series. So
That's correct.
that ability to draw something that that can sell something just on one image, do you think that has come from your background in advertising, or just your natural style?
I'm not sure. Most of the work that I did on advertising was like, let's say, it was a backstage work. I mean, it was only for pre-production for the team, not for actually to go on a magazine or on, you know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
like pre-production work. So, but you're right, because I have to sell one image to the person who was, I mean, the company of the advertising. I mean, if it was Coca-Cola or any company, and the director of the film of the ad needed to sell a location or a particular look to I don't know, like a costume or something like that in the movie for the company. So they lean into me. That was my responsibility to sell that image. So you're probably right, but um, what I think has been helping me much from these advertising days, those advertising days, is the concept art work that I did back in the day, because it has helped me to build the worlds that my comics inhabit now. I mean, like Nice House on the Lake, I did many pre-production drawings of the house, and those are like, I kind of relate those pre-production drawings to my to my um, to my work back in the day in advertising. But also, like I said, I did many storyboards back in the day, so that probably helped me with my narrative. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah, because so for anyone watching the video version of this, so I'm putting up right now, this is the cover for the first issue of Nice House on the Lake, and that right there, that's one of those images that right there can sell the product. You know, when someone sees that's enough to draw them into the book. As well as, this is the cover for issue 12, which, as we said, was based on the first piece that you drew for the story. So yeah, those are definitely images that that are going to make people pick up a book like that.
Yeah, and also that let's say, hyper realistic style that I use in my covers. I mean, I wish it was hyper realistic, but my skills. But I mean, that style, it was developed when I was working in advertising.
Yeah.
So I mean, with all that without that background, I don't think I'll be able to create these images nowadays. So I mean, I'm kind of proud of the path that I followed to be where I am now. Like,
yeah, as you should
I think
be. So many people loving your work. So yeah, what's there to not be proud? And you're getting paid now.
Thanks, Robin. Thanks, Robin.
So Nice House by the Sea obviously is following right off where Nice House by the Lake ended. So this whole world, where did the initial seed of this idea for this world come from? Back when you and James started putting this together.
You mean the Nice House on the Lake world, or the Nice House by the Sea world, or the whole thing?
Yeah, just this entire world that the two of you have begun building.
Okay. That is James. Back in 2019, in the around October 2019, I got an email from James saying that he had this pitch about a house, 10 friends. That the pitch of the series. So and offering me if I wanted to do it in Black Label, because back in the day I still had I still have it my exclusive contract with DC, and he still had like 1 year left from his. So he knew he had to stay at DC for at least 1 more year. But that was around the time he was working on Batman. So he had this idea, and Something Scaring the Children was a huge success at Boom. So he wanted to pitch DC this series to follow up that success that was Something Scaring the Children. And he told DC that if he was doing that series, it was only with me and with Chris Conroy, which is our editor. I mean, this is the team. If they are not doing it, I'm not doing it at DC. I'm saving the idea for later. But if we are doing this series, is with this team. So he sent me an email, and I read the pitch. I saw the potential in it, because if you think of the elevator pitch, it's very powerful, I would say.
Yeah.
And also there were other reasons that attracted me of the scripts, like personal reasons. So I said yes. It only took me like an afternoon to say yes. So that was around the time that we were working on Justice League Dark. He left the series because he started working on Batman, so he couldn't handle the 2 series, so he left Justice League Dark. But I decided that it was a time to jump onto new. I don't know, like this was something like let me explain. I haven't done anything like this before. Not create our own books, not our own story, not with characters that nobody knew. Like this is like a whole new world that nobody knew nothing about, and it could go all wrong. I mean, knowing James, I knew it was good, that the pitch it was good, and that we were going to do our best work possible. I'm sorry, but it was like a, how do you say, like a tossing a coin?
And
it flipping a coin, no?
Yeah, and it had to be maybe a little bit scary to step out.
It is not for James, probably, because he was working on Batman already.
He had some other fallbacks.
Yeah, sure. And also for a writer, it's easier to make a bet on a project, because he had a lot of projects going on at the moment, like 4, 5, 6 series he was writing at the moment. But for me, it was a huge bet, because I have to devote my life to just this project for I don't know how long. So I said yes, and it was also like I had the feeling that that DC, I mean, they trust us with this project, but they told us, okay, if it performs well, it may be like a 12 issues limited series. If it's not, it's going to be only 6. If it goes really well, you can expand the universe. So, I mean, I knew they trust us, but they wanted to cover their backs as well.
Yeah.
So it was like a leap of faith for all of us.
But who better to take a
so-
leap of faith like that with than a creator with the track record of James?
Yeah, sure. You're right. I mean, I was positive that it was going to be a success. I didn't know how much. I mean, I'm still kind of surprised of how successful is the book. It sold like a lot, way more than DC was expecting, I would say. And the things that we achieved is just, I mean, I'm overwhelmed with this project. It's been like a dream project for me.
Yeah, definitely it did very well. I know just from what I can see of it. So I work at a comic shop here in Canada, Rogues Gallery Comics, and through the entire run of Nice House on the Lake, it spent the whole run in our top 10 list of most subscribed comics.
That's amazing. That's great. I mean, I keep hearing things like that from all over the world. In Spain, is a huge success. In France, is massive. So it's insane for me.
Yeah, that's.
I mean,
the
I'm very.
Sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was about to say that I'm very thankful for it.
Yeah, it's the interesting thing about a story like this kind of concept. It's universal, right? It isn't just like a superhero story, you know, that only people who are into superheroes can identify with, or it's not something that is based in a particular culture. It is a group of friends being sort of brought together to be spared from the end of the world. And yeah, that's a concept that can that's a concept that can cross borders.
Yeah, it is, and it's funny that you mentioned, because I told before that there were other reasons that drew me to this project, and one of them it was like when I read the pitch, James' pitch, there was an idea that was in the pitch about this series is a sci-fi apocalyptic horror story, but it's also about a group of friends that they are splitting, that they reach their 30s and they don't see each other anymore like they used to. They have different lives and stuff, so it's difficult for them to get together. So, and I could relate to that very much back in the days, because I moved to other city. I wasn't seeing my friends as well, and I was experiencing that myself. So those feelings I wanted to explore as well. So that was one of the things that drew me, that capture my attention for this series. Not only the huge high concept of the series, which was amazing, but also that I wanted to explore that.
And now, sorry, I didn't want to cut you off there.
No. That's okay, Robin. I'm sorry. There's a small little delay.
It's okay. So yeah, you mentioned the group of friends here. So I want to take it back for a minute to Nice House on the Lake. So the story in that one, as we just said, was this group of friends. You know, Walter had brought this group of friends together. He believed that he was saving these friends from what was happening, and you know that everything would be beautiful. You know, they had this great place to live in where they would be safe as the world ended. They were going to have everything that they needed. You know, all the food and everything was provided for them. Everything that literally anything they asked for would show up at the house. And Walter must have believed that this was, you know, going to be the best possible existence for them. Like they've got a paradise, but it ended up leading not only to really big strains in their own relationships, but, you know, between these friends. Most of them had already known each other a long time, but also their resentment toward Walter, and they ended up hating Walter. And you know, the end of the story didn't end well for Walter. But now with the new story, Nice House by the Sea, this is not a group of friends. This is a different situation. So tell us about the situation with this new group of individuals we're meeting here.
Yeah, like you said, these people in the new house, they were chosen because they were like exceptional individuals in their fields. It's like the best mathematician in the world, the best actor in the world. That's the idea. So that doesn't guarantee that they have to get together well. In fact, they don't. So that leads that. I mean, one of the first ideas that James and I had when we were discussing this new season is that they started. Hopefully, I'm not giving out too much of the book. It's just a small spoiler, but not too much. If you see if you look at the picture of the house, the one where you see the beach,
Yes,
that
this one here.
You see that there's not only like a house. There's a main house on the right side, but there are other houses around it.
Yeah,
so
and up
the
in the
idea
hills.
was, sure. So the idea was that at first they live together in the main villa, like the main house, but since they can also start ask for things like in the lake house, they can ask for things. They started asking for houses so they don't have to live together anymore. So most of them live in different locations of the ecosystem. So that gives you an idea of the relationships between the characters. They don't want to live together. They are there trapped for eternity, but they don't have to live under the same roof. So that was a small spoiler, but that's something that if you look at the preview that we just released, there's a map of the ecosystem with the different houses.
Yes, this
So that was
here.
one of the that one. You see that they is to be fair, is like the nice village by the sea or something like that. But there's a main house where some characters still live there, and it's like the most important building in the ecosystem is that's the villa that is in the prior image. But yeah, that gives you an idea of the relationships between the characters, and they don't get together well, and they also don't respect each other, and that will take us to some uncomfortable places down the road.
Yeah, and that's a huge difference to have from the first book, because not only were they for the most part friends who had known each other at least a little bit, they were living in the same house together, and they also tried to do things together as much as possible. They had their meals together, and they would plan, we're gonna go out, and explore the property today. And yeah, they were a group. So it's interesting that that this new group are very much not So when how early in the development of the world in general, maybe when you were working on Nice House, did you guys know already that, well, after this we know there's another group elsewhere?
We knew that we were going to explore other houses from the very beginning, because but like I said, this project, if it didn't perform the way it did, it may have ended in issue 6, so we didn't have the time to explore that. But since it did well, sales wise and critic, the critic was amazing, and the response of the fans was great. So we were allowed to explore the other ideas that we had. It changed a bit with from the very first pitch to where we are now. But at the core of the story is the same intentions. So yeah, exploring other houses was the plan from the very beginning.
So
But,
if the okay,
I don't want to give it to give out too many details.
no,
Sorry.
give whatever you want.
No. I can't. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, that's okay. But assuming that the continued success allows it, could we potentially see this going? Like, could we see 5 other groups in different places, or do you guys know exactly where this will steer?
I'm not sure of that. I mean, we know when the series will end.
Yeah.
It's not too far from here. I mean, this is not going to run for like 75 issues or 100 issues. Not at all. It's way more, way less. I mean, sorry. But I don't know, because I know where James is going. I have the main guidelines, but the way James writes is like he knows the destination, but he doesn't know the path. Or he knows, but he takes like sideways. I don't know how to put it. He changes things constantly, but that was what keeps things exciting to me. I mean, some of the revelations of season one, I didn't know nothing about it. If you remember issue 6, it's the ending of issue 6. Walter wipes everyone's memories.
Yeah.
And
so they don't remember the things that he has done to them.
Yeah. So and suddenly he lives with them. And so that was like something that I didn't see coming. I didn't know nothing about it. I knew about it when I read the script. So yeah, I know many things that are going to happen in the rest of the series. I know where we are going, but I'm also a fan. Like for many things, I don't know what's on James' head, and one of them is I know he wants to explore other houses, other ecosystems, but that's all I know.
Well, that's a great position to have, as as you called yourself, a fan of the story as well. So every day that you get a new script in, you get to not only see what happens in this next one, but then you get to do something no one else does, in that you get to decide what that looks like.
Yeah. I'm like a most lucky fan of the series because because of that. No, I've said this many times before. That's like it's a very good position to be at.
How much collaboration is there between the two of you as far as visuals, what things look like? Does James really just give you the script and you just move forward with it, making things look how you want? Do you guys go over ideas? Does he have ideas of how he wants things to look?
We spent both for Nice House on the Lake and By the Sea. We spent many months, I would say, weeks, months, developing together the overall look of the series, like the settings, the characters, the symbols, stuff like that. And in those moments, we exchange like a lot of emails and WhatsApps, and we are in constant communication. But once everything is figured out, he delivers me the scripts, and I work over it. And at certain moments, he is very specific of what he wants art-wise. Like it has like a clear image of what he wants. But at others, he just lets me do my thing. I mean, we've been working together for 10 years now.
Yeah.
So we kind of developed like a creative workflow that works for us. people will be surprised how little we speak during the actual work on an issue. I mean, I received the script. If I have any questions, I text James frequently, but about other topics, not the issue. If I have specific questions, I do the questions, and okay, he answers them, and there's a back and forth between the two of us. But you will be surprised of how little we need to actually speak, because we have.
You just sort of have that creative understanding that you both know what the other's doing.
Yeah, exactly. We know our strengths and weaknesses for each other. So yeah, it's like you said, we developed a system.
Yeah, and it's always interesting to hear how the creative relationship is between different groups of creators. Yeah. Years ago, I remember when Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo were starting to work together on Batman. Now, Greg is accustomed to working with a very loose script, just give me a couple pages and I'll draw the book. But Scott's the opposite. Scott, writes very specifically, very detailed scripts for issues. And Greg told a story of when Scott sent him the first script for the first issue they were doing together. He shows up in his email, so he hits print, and it's printing, and it keeps spitting out pages, keeps spitting out pages, keeps spitting out pages. And Greg said, I thought I hit print 3 or 4 times because it was so many pages, but it was just the one issue.
That is hilarious. I mean, with James, it's not that much. It's probably for a comic page. It may take him like a page and a half of a script. I mean, he focused much on emotions and the rhythm of the scene than in the setting of the how the characters are dressed or how they. I mean, that he knows I can handle that, and that I can complete his vision with mine. So I don't know how his scripts are for other artists, but in my case, he doesn't need very much to get to the point that he wants.
Now, I remember a while back, this was within the past year, I think, James had posted on social media that he was going out to Spain to see you. And as soon as I saw that, I thought, oh, here we go. They're going to work on Nice House.
Yeah, we did. It was kind of a vacation for him.
Yeah.
So we did work a little bit, but we tried to enjoy ourselves as well. But most of the developing work that we did together, it was we did it in France, because we were both invited to Angoulême, to the comic festival in January 2023. So, and afterwards we did a small tour around France. We went to a couple of comic bookshops there. So we have like a lot of spare time to work on the series. So that's where we started working on the second season. It involved like a few bottles of wine, I would say, and some fine dinners together. But we got to places. Hopefully, it was. I mean, it was great, because it was for me. It was the first time that I got to work on a development of a series, like face to face. Just throwing ideas, discussing things. So it was like a very refreshing, for at least for me. I hope for him it was too. And I think it shows in the final product. Hopefully it will.
I have no doubt. I was hoping that by the time we we spoke here today that I was going to have a PDF and already get to read it, but
Oh, you don't?
knowing my luck, that's going to show up in my email right after we finish talking. But that's okay. I just can't wait to read it. But yeah, I know DC will get it. Will get it over to me.
Okay, hopefully soon.
Now we're talking about how much goes into all of this, and that brings up something that I've wondered too, like specifically in the time between the two Nice House books. The magnitude of work that goes into this obviously has to take up a significant portion of your potential creating time, and combine that with how busy you seem to be with doing commissions through Green Room. Does all of this leave you time to consider working on any other books? Is it possible we'll see other books coming out from you during this, or is this taking up all your time? Yeah.
No. There are two things that are happening here. One is that I also became a dad 4 months ago.
Yes, and congrats on that.
Thank you so much. So time is is not something that I that I have too much of it now. But also I am becoming slower with the passing of the years. I don't know why. It's probably it has something to be with becoming a digital artist, because I switched to digital when I started working on the Nice House, and the possibility of do and redo things is making me slower.
Okay.
Because I mean, with a pencil and ink, you have like a few you get to do that like a few times, but not too much. Here, the possibilities are endless. I can draw and redraw a face as much as I can, and also I'm not under like very hard deadlines, because this is not related to others. It doesn't. There's no crossovers. There are no other series involved, so it's just us doing this. So DC is generous enough to give me as much time as I need for the series. Most of the time. Sometimes they don't, but most of the times I have like more time to work on the issues that I have in my entire career. So that has the combination of those things made me like a slow artist. So I'm afraid this is all that I can tackle now. But I'm happy with that. I mean, I really want to leave something important with the Nice House. I want this to be like my hopefully
like a legacy.
one. That's it. I don't want to rush with it. With this, it doesn't make any sense to me.
It comes out when it comes out.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not in a rush, and I'm not going to be. Hopefully, hopefully DC is not in a rush as well with it.
Now, when you're doing pages digitally, do you find that sometimes you get into trouble trying to put too much detail, more detail than you should be into like small areas?
Yeah, that's interesting. I try not to. There's a way to avoid that. That is not zooming in very much, and that's what I try to do.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Because
it's going back again to Greg Capullo. He was telling me years ago, I think it was when he and Scott were doing their Batman run, and he was still, I think, sort of still acclimating to doing stuff digital. He was talking about how he would catch himself, like he'd spend like half an hour putting a lot of, getting really good detail in on this window. He was, on a window frame he was drawing, making it look really good. And, he gets really happy with it. Like, yeah, that looks great. And then he zooms out. And as he's zooming out, he remembers, oh yeah, that's just one window on a giant building in the background.
I mean, it's the possibility of getting lost is always there.
Yeah.
And I find myself lost many times. But what I try to avoid is zooming in, like I say, and also I try to use like brushes that don't allow me to go very much into details, like a long brushes, like a, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
that
More
that helps me build a
designs.
Yeah, like a more that allows me to understand the figures or the backgrounds into blocks. Like I do like huge strokes with the brush, and then I build over those strokes. That makes any sense? Is it?
Yeah.
I wish I could show you. But that because from time to time I see other. I mean, I don't want to speak about other artists, especially bad things. But I found other digital artists that don't, especially like artists that are not familiar with digital and they switch to digital. You notice that very, very quickly, because you see that really intricate backgrounds that don't make any sense.
Yeah.
It's just in the end it becomes like a weird mass of lines that, I mean, there was a few years where everyone was switching to digital, that you see that in many comics. I don't think that that's happening anymore, because people started to realize that didn't make any sense to zoom in to infinity. But I just don't like it.
Yeah, and sometimes it can look nice to have, that high level of detail on, the everything that's in the background, but that's not where the story is. So do we really need that much detail? Not where the story
that's it. No, probably not. That, I mean, the strategy is like, if I zoom in, I don't change the size of the brush. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can get really close to a figure in the background, but the brush is the same size as in the foreground. So that allows me to not get into very much details.
Yeah, keeping control.
I mean,
and when most of us are reading, physical copies of books, it's, you can't zoom in on a physical page anyway.
No, you can't.
Though I do spend so much time looking at advanced PDFs on my phone that I have caught myself a couple times with a physical comic book, like, oh no, I can't pinch and zoom that.
When I go back to traditional, to pen and ink, I sometimes, and this is something that happens to many colleagues. They told me about it, that sometimes I find myself doing Control Z. You know what I mean? when something is not. I mean, oh shit!
I didn't like that. Control Z. Oh yeah, that didn't do anything.
Yeah.
So, for fans of people who enjoyed The Nice House on the Lake, Walter's story, and all of his friends, what can they expect to be the same, and to maybe surprise them going into Nice House on the Sea, or by the sea?
I'm sorry, you mean which things are?
Yeah, what should people who were fans of the first book expect to feel familiar, and what should they expect to surprise them?
Yeah. Okay. Visually, we are keeping some elements from the first miniseries, like the design pages, like the insets. Like. If you've seen the preview of the issue, you've seen that there are like info on the page, like side info about the characters and the
Yes.
with the symbols and stuff, and the design pages. There's a map that probably is that next image that is. And also, we are keeping the structure of the issue with the flash forward, the flashback for the two first pages, and then the flash forward again. We are, I mean, we are trying to somehow tie this to the first mini series. Thematically, there are certain elements that follow up some of the ideas of the first. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to not give out anything.
No,
I don't want
yeah.
to get
And
into a spoiler.
Yeah, if you do say
spoilers,
too much, we'll just cut it out.
Okay, no, but there are many elements. Once you read the first issue, you get to see how it ties to the first miniseries very clearly. So people that enjoy the first miniseries is going to be very, very pleased. So that's it. Like we discussed, there's a huge a whole new cast, a whole new setting. If you enjoy what I did with the house, with the different environments, I think we are doubling the stakes here, like designing like a whole village actually, and I think it's weirder than the first miniseries. There are more sci-fi elements in this series. There's the potential in it to be more horror-driven than the first miniseries. Okay. There are a few elements, body horror elements, that I think they are going to be very important in the development of the story. That are going to be like really unsettling, I would say.
Yeah, like unsettling, like a beach full of skeletons, as we see in the preview
even
pages.
Even
Yeah.
more, even
Good,
more.
Good.
Yeah. There's particularly one thing about the way the characters interact with the ecosystem, because they have tools at their disposal that is going to be really, really interesting. People, readers will know what I mean when they read the first issue.
And aside from what's inside the book, there's also this Nick Robles cover that I have on the screen right now. How good is that?
Wow. I mean, Nick is one of my favorite artists working at the moment. And when we were working on the development of the series, our editor, Chris Conroy, asked us, do you have any specific artists that you want to have for the variant covers? And I did a small list of 10, 12 artists, and Nick was absolutely on the top of the list. So I mean, I'm thrilled.
Yeah, we love Nick here too. He's been on the show before as well.
Oh, this is really nice as well.
Yeah, he is. And here's Danny's variant cover.
Danny was on my list as well. So yeah. Danny's, I really love her style, and looks effortless, but has like a depth and I mean, it's it's really, 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 really good, really good.
Yeah, and one of those styles that when you see a Danny cover, you know it is.
Yeah, you know, it's Danny. It's like no one else. And also Hayden Sherman.
Yeah. Yeah, this sort of postcard one here.
Yeah, and I'm grateful that DC is going to print it like sideways. I don't know, like the cover is like flip, so it looks like a you can see it on the logo and the text that is going to have that format like you see in the screen now.
And I like the implication. You never know with covers if what is on the cover actually reflects what is happening in the story, or if it's just thematically. But I like how at least thematically these beings that we're seeing in Hayden's cover here are these are Walter's people, from what it looks like.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure
They
sure
are.
you don't. But as we said at the top, July 1st, Monday, July 1st is the final order cutoff, and that really does help your comic shops if you tell them before the final order cutoff that you want copies. That is where they have to decide for sure how many copies of books they are ordering. They get their order finalized, and from that point, the problem can be that a book could sell out, and if you haven't told your shop, they might not have enough copies for you, and now it's too late.
Absolutely. They don't sleep on this one.
No, do not.
Do not, please do not.
Now, I wanted to ask a couple more things just to get some information about you. You mentioned growing up with comic books in the house. What were some of your favorite comics in those early years?
There were a few Spanish and European books that you're probably not familiar with, so I am skipping those.
Okay.
But as for US books, mostly the books I remember from my childhood were Claremont X-Men.
Okay.
Anything really? I mean, it was the 80s, so
yeah,
it was all about Claremont. I also remember the Dread Star. That book was really important to me when I was growing up. I really loved that book because, like I said, my brothers and sisters are all older than me, and that was like kind of an adult book. There were some things and some themes that started exploring the series that weren't supposed to be read by a kid, and so I kind of perceived that book like as something for adults, like something forbidden or something like that. And I found my way to read it, and I really liked it when I was growing up. And also, I remember the Steve Englehart Avengers, and also what else? One of the books that I absolutely loved when I was a kid was Excalibur by Claremont and Alan Davis. I don't know. I can't recall. Mark Wolfman and George Perez.
On their Titans or
and the Titans.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah. That the Judas Contract. That was wow.
Oh yeah. Deathstroke.
Fond really fond memories. Really fond memories. Yeah. Too many. Like I said, there was lots of comic books in my house.
Now, shifting from that, now that you've gone from just being this kid reading the comic books to now the industry is your life. If there was one thing that you could change about the comic industry, that you could it would a problem that like waving a magic wand, you could fix this problem and it would be fixed forever. What's something you would want to fix?
Okay, can I ask for many more readers? That would be amazing. so comic book shops don't have to close. I mean, no. One thing that I would change now that I experience myself, how amazing it is to work on your own terms on a series, like at your own pace, like having enough time to develop my art, in this case, my vision of things. I mean, do we need to still have like a monthly release of the books? And let me explain. I mean, if you give enough time and freedom to creators, they are probably going to produce better books in the end. I mean, do we need like 30 or 40 issues of a series per year? Probably. Or if you allow the creators to have time and freedom to develop like a, I don't know, like a 6-issue story that they work on it for a year or 2 years, in the end is going to be probably better than a monthly book that has to be released no matter what. Me using fill-in artists, like I used to be a fill-in artist. I don't have anything about fill-in artists. That's how I started in the industry. But I don't know if I'm explaining myself, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely. Because with the pace that books come out, and it's not just monthly. Sometimes the big books will go to double shipping. You know, where you're getting
that's it
2 issues per
that's
month,
it.
and yeah.
But if you look back at like huge important stories, and I'm even talking about superhero stories, that the important ones, the one that everyone's remembered, they were done probably. There are exceptions probably, but they were done out of a monthly schedule.
Yeah. And I think
or probably they will release monthly, but it was created in a longer space of time.
Yeah, like they spent a year or 2 creating those issues,
because in the end there's no rush.
Yeah.
I don't understand that rush to be on the shelves every week, no matter what.
And I think maybe they would be great to see that kind of scheduling fixed, but I think we're seeing maybe a little bit of it changing in Western comics now.
Probably.
With some of the indie publishers, like over at Boom. Liber Mayo, he's been doing a book with Matt and Tomlin over there called A Vicious Circle.
Gorgeous.
And yeah, it's outstanding. And it couldn't look like that if it were coming out monthly. Instead,
No.
the schedule for that book is the issues are going to come out when Lee and Mattson have them ready.
Yeah,
and
that's
look
it.
at the result.
That's it. I mean, it's just my opinion. It's probably this probably mean that the whole industry had to change the way you conceive the whole industry of comics. But I don't know. It's probably because like I said, I experienced it myself, and I delivered probably my best work to date. So I want everyone to have things for themselves.
Yeah, this is it. Now, with that in mind, do you think so? So let's say we get to a point where you and James have done everything you've wanted to do with this universe, and now you're ready to move on to your next project. With that kind of idea in mind, would you be interested in pursuing more creator-owned books in the future?
Probably. But I don't think I'm done with superhero yet.
Yeah,
because superheroes is sure. It's my genre. Those are the comics, like I said, that I grew up with. So I still want to scratch some itches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like there are many characters that I haven't drawn. I really would like to go back to superheroes when we are done with the Nice House, but it has to be not in a regular series, probably not in like jumping on a monthly series to do like a short run of 6 issues or 10 issues. No, but if I can, I will choose like a special project with those characters, but I don't know, the stuff that Black Label is producing, like three issues miniseries of Aquaman, like Andromeda, you know the book from
Ram and Christian,
Ram and Christian Ward, or stuff like that. To me, that's a dream project.
Yeah. So
probably
so
something.
so so say you're going to do one of those. You said there are a lot of characters that that you would still like to get your hands on. What would be your number one choice if they said, if either DC or Marvel said, okay, pick a project you want to do, pick a character, and we'll let you do it. Who's number one on your list?
Okay. For Marvel, it would be the X-Men. Like I said, it was like the biggest book for me growing up, and I'm really tied to those characters. I don't know what kind of project, but it would be the X-Men.
So if you're gonna do an X-Men book, this in this fantasy that I'm proposing, you get to do an X-Men book of your choosing. Who writes it?
James.
Oh, that would be cool, man. James writing an X-Men book, man.
We discussed this many times.
Yeah.
In front of a bottle of wine. Like, we need to do the X-Men down the road, but I don't think life is going to take us there. Who knows? But I mean, James is starting his own company. I mean, it probably is going to take us like a couple of years, a few years. I don't know how much to finish the Nice House, and then who knows? But we fantasize about that often.
Yeah, well, why not? And I'm sure it's a thing that if the two of you were going to set aside the time to do it, I don't think you'd have any problem getting that job.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I think either at this point, the companies need sales. I think at this point they would let the two of you do whatever you wanted.
I mean, you only need James to attract fans to the X-Men. I would be on the equation as well, but
he does have a track record for sure. Yeah, he has put together this list of just top of the food chain collaborators that he works with. You're very much one of those top of the food chain collaborators he works with.
Thanks for that.
It's interesting to hear that he would be your choice to write a hypothetical X-Men book. Like you found a sort of creative kindred spirit through all your work with James. Would you say that working with James has been like the most impactful thing that has happened in your comics career?
Yeah, probably it is. I mean, I got lucky many times with James.
Yeah.
The first one was starting collaborating with him in Batman Eternal, because not only because he's a fantastic writer, because also because we kind of discover each other as creators, and we saw that we could work together really well, which is something that is not as common as you may think in the industry. I mean, finding someone who you can work with and that you can grow as a creator together is not that common. So that was my first lucky strike. Oh, that's how you say it?
Stroke of luck. Yeah.
A stroke of luck. Sorry, the Lucky Strike is a cigarette brand.
Yeah, and that was a fun thing for readers like us to see too, because you and James very much came up together. When you guys were doing Batman Eternal, none of you weren't the A-list names that you've become since then, but seeing the two of you come up through different projects and like Justice League Dark and the cool horror stuff that you guys got to do in that, and coming up to things like this now, it's been cool to see that progression.
Yeah, but for me, the second stroke of luck, like you said, it was James offering me the Nice House on the Lake at that very moment. Yeah. Because that was a moment where he was like growing like a lot. I mean, I was becoming a more important asset in the company myself, but at my own pace, which was way slower than his. I mean, he was becoming like one of the top names on the industry, and that benefited the project a lot.
Yeah,
so
Yeah, he at the time that you guys started working on this, he had Something Is Killing the Children, Department of Truth. I think Wind was still in its
Yeah.
maybe in its first run there, and so yeah, he was definitely grabbing attention.
Yeah, sure. So I kind of lucky to be working with him. I'm also proud that I gained his trust. I really like to think that that he feels also. I don't know how to put it. Like a he can have my trust as well. That that we trust each other as creators, and that we develop a career together in a way. Hopefully, it's as fun as that as I am.
Well, we hope that that you guys keep doing it. You obviously you do work very well together, and everyone is enjoying the results. And we're about to enjoy more results as we get to the nice house by the sea. And I don't want to keep you here forever. I'll let you get back to life. It's got to be getting into the evening where you are now.
Yes.
But I really appreciate you taking the time. And everyone, if you haven't already read The Nice House on the Lake, that is available in either 2 trade paperbacks or the big deluxe single collection. You definitely want to read that before the new book starts. Don't miss either one of them.
So, Robin, thanks a lot for having me. I wanted to apologize for the listeners about my English.
No, you're great.
Hopefully,
You're great.
hopefully, I explain myself, and but it was great talking to you, and really hope that the readers are going to enjoy Nice Out by the Sea. It is really exciting to me this moment in my career. So hopefully the excitement is contagious to all the fans.
Absolutely. I've already seen that it is, and can't wait for everyone to get to see these books as well. Thank you again for taking the time to do it. This was Alvaro Martinez, and that was Bat Force Radio. Thanks for listening, and we will see you next time.